Hey, you fishing wheel lovers, this is the fishing wheel again. Today I think I am gonna talk a little bit about split units. I just bought myself a 12,000 BTU split unit, heating and air conditioning to cool down the first floor a little bit. This is my ferret's room, and I have this 5,000, or maybe it's 8,000 BTU. I believe it's a 5,000. Air conditioner in there, which really does a good job actually cooling everything down. So I want to get away from this window unit, and I bought this 12,000 BTU split unit. Now I noticed, since we have covered walls here, so you really don't know what's in them, you got to find the studs. So the studs usually on a house built by code are 16 inches on center. Now if you lay out this here, there's really not much that's 16 on center. If you look on your holes here and try to measure around, like these holes, not 16. Now if you have concrete or a solid masonry wall, I guess it doesn't matter where you drill, but you can just say, okay, I use this hole on the right and this hole on the left, this will be 16, or this will hold. I'm pretty sure if you have some good sheetrock, you put some sheetrock anchors in, it will hold the inside unit. It probably will not hold the brackets if you mount your outside unit on the wall versus having it sitting on a concrete slab or something, or a paver. So this is really, I did not expect it. I thought this would be laid out for 16 center no matter what, and if it's brick wall or concrete, it wouldn't matter anyways. But so it's not laid out for 16 inches, so you gotta find them. So I have one here. Yes, let's see if I retract this a little bit. Okay, so I marked them, I measured it out first. So this one and this one actually is 16 center, and then also this one here is 16 center. You would think this one is, but it's not. Even with the long slot, it's not. So I had to move over to this one here. And then later on I can show you the drain that's actually here and covered by the unit, the big drain. I moved to the center. I just measured out the height, obviously, and the diameter is given. And then also what I did here, I laid out a secondary hole just for the drain pipe. And there's a couple of reasons here. So you can see here on the wall, this is the main hole, right? And I drilled the secondary one just for the drain. And here are the holes. So I have a stud finder, but electrical conduit actually, or electrical current, overrides the stud finding, because they don't want you to drill into electrical wire. So I have a solar system set up, and the lines run about here, but not on this side. But it gave me a trouble finding a stud. It always gave me error code and electrical close by. Who knows what they did back then? There might be an electric line here somewhere. So I just figured there's a seam here on the sheetrock that usually indicates that there is a stud. There could be two studs next to each other, and that's why my stud finder has a hard time finding it, and gives me error message, because obviously here is the center of the stud, but here over is the seam of the sheetrock. So usually where the seam is, there's usually a stud going down, so you can screw it from both sides. Anyways, I know there's a stud here because I drilled some extra holes, so I know if it goes all the way through, there's nothing. If there's resistance, there's a stud. That's how you actually can find them. Let's see how kind of difficult it is to actually find out where you have to mount it. You gotta be careful with the studs, because you don't want this hole, which usually would be here, falling right on the stud. You gotta drill out the whole stud or half the stud, whatever. It's just the way it is. So I drilled a control hole here to make sure it goes through and it actually is clear for all the pipes to go through. So now these pipes are laid out so they go through the center of the unit. And I'm gonna show you a little bit here. Okay, let's get this here quick. I'm not quite sure if I take my tape measure. Let's see. Okay, let's get out up there. I just want to show you my whole house here. Just gonna hold this quick. So this is the unit here. Primer. Best deal with pre-charged lines, better than Mr. Cool. And then here's the unit. So I guess it's about this way you look at it. So this side here, this would be the originally marked big hole. You flip this out, feed it through the wall, and then I guess some units you can just leave it here, feed it out through this side. But what I'm thinking is, if this unit is only at least like a foot longer overall, look at this, the size of these connectors here. So the same size with insulation comes in from the other end, from this side. So how are you supposed to feed this through the wall here, bend it right here, and connect it right here? So I don't really think this is working, unless you have like an extra foot on this side, then you probably can feed it through the wall on this side. I don't have that luxury. So really, the hole recommended in the pamphlet is here. Just flip those lines over, feed them through the wall, which I kind of can't. I'll show you why in a couple of minutes. So I decided to actually get the main lines out in the center, because there's no obstruction here. This is the hanger. I can feed them through here, through this whole area, or here, but I don't want to. The only line I'm feeding through is the drain line here. This is 1 1/4 inch in diameter. Just make a hole size big enough to feed through here. That's why I have this little corner laid out here in a little hole. I put my 1 1/4 inch hole saw or hole dozer right here. So the drain pipe can go here, it won't show, and all the other major like pressure lines go right through the center, same height than they recommend here, so I know it won't show. And I'm gonna show you real quick what it looks like outside and why I made those decisions. So inside obviously is clear because of the studs. You gotta find your studs. You want a good I guess base to screw it on. Outside it's a little bit different. So now, besides electric, which is your problem really, how you do it. So what I do, I have a flex hose. I connect it to an outside outlet. The outside outlet is my junction box. From there I go back in the basement on the GFCI breaker, 20 amp breaker, and I'm gonna have actually outside lighting here. This baby, for example, I use this as a junction box. An outside light is probably gonna be here somehow, down there. I can put tools in and I don't know, use my outside light if something goes wrong with this whole solar system hook up there. Actually, I can have light and power to use some tools. But now here are the holes, so you can see already the problem. The solar system line, all the solar panels come out there through the gable down this line. So inside, obviously on the left side, so here there was a wall I had to move over. So if I move over, the coolant lines from the big hole would be on this side, which interferes with all this here, and then I want to put channels up to cover them nicely, so they would have to jump this, and then how to make it watertight. Anyways, so that's why I put the refrigerant lines in the center of the unit. They come down here, This is pretty much clear. I just make a couple of angles and the unit will sit here on the wall. And the drain line, I don't really care. It comes right out here. I have a 1.5 inch galvanized pipe that sticks out probably like 1.5 foot, and it has a nice 90-degree elbow on, so it comes out really nice, and we'll go over all these panels and then drip out here like 1.5 foot away from all the panels on the concrete. And I'm gonna use this. It's actually pre-manufactured. It's for outside use. It comes with wires, so I just take out the wires. Now feed new wires through 20 amp breaker GFCI. Got nice bolts here. What happens is the center, the two centers of the bolts of the unit are, I believe, 17.5 inches apart. Oh, let's go this way. I believe the back door is open. Let's see. Got my tape measure here. Let's go in. Okay, back to the climber unit. So remember, your studs are 16 centered by code. The holes on the unit are 17.25, about, give and take, because of the long hole. So that doesn't make any sense at all, because your metal brackets that you mount to the house are like dead center. They don't have long holes on the back that you can move them back and forth to make these 16 inches work. You can't. It is what it is. So I want really good, a good solid base for this when I hang it on my house. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put 3 like 2.5 foot 2x4s pressure treated across from left to right where the hangers will be, and then I'm going to bolt the hangers through the 2x4s into the studs of the house, 3 on each side, and that will keep it really secure and also not crush the vinyl siding, because obviously vinyl siding for the most part is hollow in the back. You don't want to crush it, but you still want a good solid hanger for that. So yeah, that's about it. A couple of things that really don't make sense with these units. They're nice, you can install them, they are pre-charged. If you want to go through the trouble of figuring it out yourself, it's fine. There's probably 1,000 solutions out there you can do. This is mine. I rely on the studs of the house. This is my best anchor point. I don't want to just put it in the sheetrock and hope for the best, because it's not going to work. At least not for like 4 or 5 years or whatever, however long you have them. That's it, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Now, keep your studs in mind. 16 center, you got to work with it and see what's on the other side of the wall. You got to make sure it works. You can't just drill through and say, oh, that's it. Or, you know what, mess something up, you know. Got to think it through at least somewhat. You get it? Got it? Alright, cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching the fishing reel. Fishing reel out. Bye.